equipment and try and get it straightened out so we don't have any issues when we start to do this. You gotta talk to us.
55 seconds.
If you're gonna do that, you gotta get on that mic. What was your son's name again?
Gavin.
Gavin. All right. I'll let you introduce him. Being that you know him. And he's not my kid either.
Are we not muted or like I don't know what your ears do? I guess we'll just roll with it.
Y'all are muted.
Okay. That's fine.
You got 30 seconds till intro.
Through or two?
Huh?
You gotta say it louder. We got headphones on.
30 seconds until intro.
Oh, okay. Thank you. That's pretty much what we're gonna go with right here. We'll start out with what's on the NBA because that's actually coming on right now, or actually at 9 o'clock. And that's the Suns and the Clippers. Roger. This is
Jared.
Jared. I haven't been in front of the camera with Jared in a while.
Couple weeks.
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks. We brought somebody else along with us today, but I'm gonna let him introduce, and you'll know why afterwards.
Yeah, he's our armchair replacement for the time being until Jimmy gets here. My son Gavin. Speak, son. That's right. You may speak now. Yeah.
Well, Gavin, welcome. You know a lot of sports, or somewhat.
Yeah.
Kind of well diverse. Okay, cool.
16 years. Well, I'll give you the background on
okay.
it. Because I'm the talker. Obviously, I didn't pass that.
I see that.
He's 16. He's going to be a junior at Berrien High. Plays quarterback. Wrestles on the wrestling team. Various other sports. But those are the two biggies. So he's busy right now. They did 7-on-7s today in Toombs County. OTAs. Yeah.
What's OTA for those that don't know?
It's where you put on pads, but you have no girdle, no pants. You just wear either shorts or a.
Oh, okay. Firm up. I love that. It's firm up. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
Ferment.
What? Now I'm getting 20 different words. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, you stand there like this.
Yeah,
okay.
You wrap up and then you don't go to the ground, I guess. So, but they went to Toombs County and there's several teams that were there. It's pretty common. We talked about it before that sports are year round, so they're already gearing up for August. I think it's the first week of the season, something like that. August, mid-August.
Yeah, mid-August, somewhere right around there. So, do you enjoy working while your summer's going on? Is this something you?
And what I
do you actually have the drive to do?
Yeah.
And
my parent, I know a lot of people are. I'm quiet on the sideline, but like he looks up at wherever I'm at after a play goes good, bad, or indifferent. So we do like a look. I don't have to holler, "What are you doing?" or whatever.
Knows.
Yeah, we just give him a look like, "That was good, go on to the next. That was bad, go on to the next." Whatever. That's how we do, I guess, in our parenting, my parenting with him. As far as I don't want to embarrass him. My dad was a screamer at the games, and I wish he wouldn't have came to them. So I do the opposite.
This is the show. Go ahead. Are you thinking past high school?
Yeah.
What are you thinking past high school?
I'm thinking about playing at the
college level, maybe what about wrestling? Are you
not wrestling.
Not wrestling, just in football.
Yeah.
Are you willing to change positions?
That would be. I mean, I'm willing to. But do I want to?
Yeah.
No, not really.
Nobody ever wants to change. 10 people didn't want to change it. That hurt him.
It took you until he was 33 to change. So.
Yeah, exactly. So, but that's good that you're thinking on that level, and you're thinking about moving forward. And I'm sure he's encouraging you to get the education.
Yeah.
If you don't have the education,
to Mama June's on Inner Perimeter Road.
BMX biker from Camden County, who's number one. I think he's number one in Georgia, possibly nationally. Plus, we're going to actually have a race day to do here. I think that I'm going to get corrected if I'm wrong, I'm sure, because they'll call me afterwards and tell me. But they're going to bring women from the rodeo. They're going to bring their horses and stuff out here. So July the 1st is going to be our show here. And come out and see us. I think it's going to be great. We're going to be right here at Mama June's. They've got a full buffet going on, and the parking lot's going to be packed.
Shrimp tonight.
Oh, it's a seafood night.
Yeah, man.
Thursday night is a seafood night, and
Man, it's good.
you can tell everything I see, I eat it.
It's good. Hey, so maybe that guy from the race cars can help Jimmy driving down Bemis Road to get here early.
Well, you know, he had to go out to Blakely or Blacksley or something, so he's not saying too much, but we've got a great co-host.
He's a good listener. He listens to me all the time.
I'm sure
he
he
doesn't. He doesn't apply it, but he listens. So.
You can see it going in this ear and coming out the other, so
yeah.
you know he's listening.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the Hawks. Well, yes,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what. When it comes down to playing basketball, the Atlanta Hawks. This was a conversation on this last night. Is Atlanta now getting the respect that they deserve?
You got to do more than get to the Eastern Conference Finals. Everybody else in the Eastern Conference has to respect them because they're. If you're talking about love, done a whole lot of that in any sport. So it's a big deal for this area. I don't know. They'll get it eventually. I think, and I told Jimmy last week, or Tuesday maybe, that
the bounce pass off the ever been done.
That's right.
And the mindset to be able to hit that glass in the right place for the other player to come and grab. I think he's being underscored.
I think he's got to do. He's getting talked about some, but more.
Right.
It's got to last a little longer than one series, two series, a season. Come back next year and do it again. Get Atlanta in the same spot. Dominate like he's doing. You start getting that respect because all those guys. I remember Kawhi Leonard when he was with the Spurs. He was like fifth man on the totem pole behind Duncan, and then he takes off. Well, Trae Young's kind of probably in that realm, I guess, where it's coming. But these other guys had Greek Freak has a scoring title, maybe MVP. CP3's been around forever. Kawhi's already got a Finals MVP. So you got to look at what you've done compared to the other three guys and realize, okay, well maybe that's why they're not talking about me quite as much. But scoring 48 points a night to get your mind right.
Yeah, and what was it? He had 48.7 rebounds and 11 assists.
Yeah.
Where Greek Freak only had 34 points, 12 rebounds, and 9 assists.
And lost.
But he's also a foot taller than Young is, and Young got 7 rebounds, and Greek only had 12.
Yeah. But he just had that longevity where he's done it over a couple seasons. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're new. Atlanta's new to winning. Hopefully they can keep Nate McMillan as coach and Trae Young. From a lot of times Atlanta's a stopgap for old guys, or they've never really had young up and comers. So this is, to me, not somebody as good as Trae Young is. So maybe they keep him once his contract comes up. A lot of these big market teams can snatch you up.
Yeah.
They can snatch you up. So maybe he wants to stay in Atlanta.
Well, okay, and that is pushing that a little bit to the coaching. There was a conversation the other day about their coach may go to Boston. But if I'm not mistaken, Boston is on the verge or has today already picked their coach. So he's not going to Boston. So he goes to Boston, and why wouldn't he go to Boston?
Atlanta, because they're love festing him right now.
Oh, big time, yeah.
And Boston's kind of on the way down, where Atlanta's on the way up. It's a better job than Atlanta is. Boston's the richer tradition franchise, obviously.
Right.
More pressure to win there. Atlanta he stepped in for this other guy. They're going to offer him the job. He was a good coach in Seattle.
Oh yeah.
The kids seem to play hard for him. I don't think he goes anywhere. If you put him up and the season was over.
With you before, I believe, was the team, and look, they're 2 games down right now, almost headed to the championship, but they're 2 games down. If they get to the championship and the Boston game's over, or the Boston coaching staff is still open, what makes it not feasible? Or I'm going to say, what makes it more interesting to go to Boston, because you have to rebuild rather than stay where you're at, and you are already built. Because let's face it, you're one of the best 2 teams in the league. You're one of the best 2 coaches this year. Now we're just talking about this year. I've been a Boston fan my whole life, and Larry Bird was there. Macau was at Macau. Mikhail was there, and so on.
Well,
There's no reason.
Atlanta's the best bet for several other reasons too. The teams on the downstroke of talent, age, and they're kind of swapping parts. I'm just saying strictly as a basketball city, they continually try to win, where Atlanta doesn't really try. They field a team a lot of times. Like Nate McMillan wasn't a hot. Boston wouldn't look for him in February.
It's the Boston, Atlanta, the appeal of being at Boston, and look what you get in Atlanta. I can change Boston around, so I can see that appeal. I see it, so I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah. But they are up 1-0. Go Hawks for the Hawk fans out there.
And I'm not a Hawks fan, but I am elated for the Hawks, and I am probably rooting for the Cinderella, which is the Hawks.
And it's good for basketball.
That's true.
That smaller teams like that are what, 3 and 5 seeds? Is that what they are?
Yeah.
Are in the finals. Usually it doesn't happen. A 1 or a 2 or both are usually in the conference final.
And have you seen that they came out with the television ratings the other day? Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
The television ratings since LeBron James, and I think they teams like Phoenix and you know, well, of course you got the Clippers, but I mean,
Off by, I don't, not to get political.
that's fine.
I don't know of anybody that's of the teams that are left that has a guy
Like, use that platform, but I'll be the one to say it. You've got the platform, use it good and keep your mouth shut, play basketball, but don't get out here and overstep your boundary like he's done with police officers and the LGBT community and all that other stuff. He's overstepped his boundary. I'm a firm believer, as a former law enforcement officer, I believe in the blue. I also believe in and the blue's been treating people wrong. I also believe that in the LGBT community. So I think everybody should have their own voice. My problem is when you come out and you start jamming this down people's throat, that's what turns them off, and nobody wants to watch him do it.
Why? Maybe they've seen Space Jam.
You said that twice now. I caught it the first time.
I'm just saying, the new Space Jam, not the real one with the real goat. We won't talk about it.
Who was that?
The one that wore 23 to correct.
You talking about Kobe?
23.
Kobe wore 23. He wore 24.
24 and 8.
Kobe.
He was another number swapper.
You're talking about Shaquille O'Neal. He wore
That's
23,
32.
right?
That's dyslexia. He was 32.
Okay.
Try again.
Who are you
You're
talking
getting
about?
close.
Oh, Michael. No.
Oh, there he is.
No, it's not Michael. He woke up.
That golf player,
I was
Michael
wondering.
Jordan.
I was wondering where that came from. I thought it was coming down from the heavens.
Yeah. And I didn't watch that Space Jam either, but if I had to choose between the two.
Yeah, well, you'd watch one rather than the other.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're looking at tonight's game, which is coming on probably about an hour after actually, it comes on at 9. So we're looking at Phoenix and the Clippers. Here's what we were talking about a minute ago. You've got a team that's been there in the Clippers.
Been there meaning in the playoffs.
Been in the playoffs in the last 5 years.
First got there, he was like,
Oh,
as soon
yeah.
as he got there, everybody's like, well, there's a championship right there.
Well, and
it
then
hadn't happened.
But then they brought all these other people in. But then they
Which
had
is
a mass
basketball.
exodus. They said last night he's the next Kobe Bryant. Did you see right across here? And when he come to the press conference afterwards, it was all like in 40 different directions.
Really?
He had stuff crammed all up in his nose to stop the bleeding.
Yeah. It's exciting basketball anyway. It's different. It's
Wait.
I think what was the stat I saw, and I shouldn't even say it because I don't know the exact. Kobe, Duncan, and like one other guy aren't in the finals.
Yeah.
For the first time in like 22 years, one of those 4 or 5 players,
It's
maybe it was Durant.
Well,
and that's pretty.
And I think that's what's bringing the 15%.
Probably
Because
young
now-
guys.
Yeah, the young guys, and they're able to see everybody playing.
Yeah.
It's not, okay, who else? So it's, I don't know, I just drew a
Well, anybody like the Spurs were really boring to watch, and you knew they were going to win, but they weren't flashy, and so
Right.
the ratings were always down, but they won a lot of games.
But you know,
So-
you have the two teams, and it's bad to say this, but the two teams have a lot of American players on them.
Yeah.
And some of those, we're coming back to the forefront in basketball. We're able to play. I enjoyed watching the game, and I think between Phoenix,
They're gonna be
and
two good
Clippers,
series.
yeah,
Two
because
good
Phoenix
series.
is already up by 2, so
Yeah.
it's going to be Clippers going to have to come back. Now they're without Kawhi.
Is he out the series?
He's out the whole series. This whole
Then
series, he may possibly come back for the final series. But I said that last time, and they said that he out, but he actually came back in, and he was playing when I got home.
COVID,
Watch.
Watch,
Yeah,
whatever.
What is the deal? What do you think the deal is on that?
I don't understand. So he had to be out 14 days. Is that right?
Yeah, it's COVID protocol in the NBA is if you come in contact with somebody that's had COVID, then you have to stay away from the facilities, not in touch. Well, you can be in touch with them, but you cannot. These chips are, I don't know what they call them, but they know when they come in contact with somebody else, and so they know who you've been in contact with. So he came in contact with somebody that had COVID. So I think the middle of this series, I think because he stayed out one of the games of the last game, I think it was, of the previous.
So, but like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like if and Jimmy and I talked about that. I don't know how much of the.
All right, we're going to kind of move on to.
You don't even have to have a COVID shot to call in.
No, you don't, because your social distance automatically. See if you know any answers.
7.
Will Seattle give Russell Wilson some help at wide receiver?
Where are they at? I'm answering a question for the question, Alex.
Yes.
Where do they see themselves at right now? Are they still a contender? Are they in a retool?
They're finding themselves as a contender, I believe.
Well, then if your superstar quarterback needs receivers, ask Aaron Rodgers. Maybe
I was just gonna say.
Maybe you should take heat. I mean, maybe he's a very years away or removed from a Super Bowl appearance. Arizona, I keep hearing Kyler Murray. I'm not real sold on him, but they're at least a 500 team. Who else is out west? Am I missing? 49ers with Garoppolo's fighting hard, according to reports I've seen, to keep the #1 spot. He's not rolling over with Trey Lance. So Seattle's in the thick of winning that
What about the
division.
Raiders?
The Raiders are in the AFC West.
It-
Yeah, he signed like a 10-year deal 4 years ago, right?
Yeah, but-
Street, who was an ESPN analyst, I didn't understand that hire as the general manager or whatever he is. It's kind of like they just went to ESPN and said, let's see if you can't get Chris Berman, let's take
Yeah.
Gruden for you.
Well, I mean,
and in fairness, they're going to give him some leeway because they moved to a new city. But
well, no, they've got that big, beautiful, portable field coming in. And
our window's closing. I think he's 33-ish, 34. That defense, they've had to retool some of those guys. If you want to stay in contention, and this is a passing league, I mean, get the guy some help. He can still play. Who takes some hits? He gets away from a lot of it, slides a lot. But I don't know. I listen to my superstar, my $300 million man or whatever.
so why do you think that Green Bay's not listening to Aaron Rodgers?
They do their stuff.
Are they just stubborn?
They do their own. Those cheeseheads are weird, man. I mean, they I don't know. Move from an NFC Championship comes in and they get you're a contender, and I wouldn't upset my MVP quarterback. I'd get him some help. I'd go get whoever. Jerry Rice, where you at? I'll call you.
Yeah, no, yeah.
You know.
Try to bring somebody in to play with you, but it's almost like they have given up on Aaron Rodgers and they want to move on to Love, and they're basically saying that they have no receivers for Love. It's going to be the same situation. Aaron Rodgers made that. Do you think that Love can make that same situation?
I think.
Yeah, you said that, and I disagreed with you.
Yeah, I think he comes to camp eventually. It may be preseason, middle of preseason. He doesn't need. We have a caller. He doesn't need much practice to get rolling.
All right, evidently there's a caller on the line. Go ahead, caller. Hello. Go ahead, caller.
Hey guys, what's up?
Oh, wait.
Hey guys, what's up?
Oh, who is this? Who is this? Let's see. I'll give you 2 guesses.
The Exterminator.
And the first one will be wrong.
The first one will be wrong. You're right. No, he was right actually. It's the Exterminator. What's going on?
I'm not gonna make it tonight. I'm still out here on the way back to Valdosta.
You're still out in the
east. But I've heard my replacement has already gotten my spot, so y'all are good.
Well, he ain't saying Jordan. He chimed in with Michael Jordan. That's the only thing he said. He had to step up, man.
I think your seat's safe, Jimmy.
So what's up?
That's good to know.
Do you have any? We're back on the Aaron Rodgers deal, but we started out with Seattle, and when we were talking about Seattle, if Russell Wilson, if they're going to give him any receivers, and then we started talking about the Aaron Rodgers deal, and Aaron Rodgers doesn't have any receivers, but they're going to give him. I'm just thinking we just did.
It's okay.
He should be listening to this.
He's listened up.
Oh, okay. So the question
I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm not swap Aaron Rodgers for Russell Wilson. Neither one of them seem to be happy where they're at.
because I guess they don't want that. They've got Love in place. If they have Love in place, why are they going to bring somebody else in? That's why they don't want Rodgers there.
But if they're keeping Rodgers, is it because they think Love isn't ready? I mean, they have to say he is.
Right. So that's the question is.
So
what-
they
do you think
they may feel that he's not.
Do you think he's going to have the? Do you think he's going to have the receivers do the job that Aaron Rodgers did last year, though?
No.
Hey, you can dump
No,
Aaron Rodgers'
he's-
salary and afford any wide receiver you want.
And
If they were going to do
you
that,
can get you some then.
well, if they were going to do that, wouldn't you have gone for Julio?
I said that when Julio was on the market. If you want to make Aaron happy, make a play for Julio.
Right, because that's all he said was give me some receivers, and they balked at it. They went and got him another quarterback. So what is your opinion?
Well, I don't think Julio can't stay healthy half the year anyway. And you put him in some cold weather territory, them bones will be cracked.
Well, he'd be in bad shape come October 3rd in Green Bay.
So okay, I'm gonna throw you a question, Jimmy. Let me ask you this: which team has some of the best edge rushers? Right now, if there was a team that you could pick, you can answer this too. If you could pick, which team or teams have the best edge rushers?
Didn't Cleveland get J.J. Watt?
No, he went out to Phoenix.
Arizona.
Yeah, he went out to Phoenix.
Was it Arizona? That's right, it was.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of who it was that Cleveland signed. Cleveland had signed one or two, and I don't care for the QB, but Cleveland's got sort of a up and coming young team if they can put it together.
Yeah, it's that Baker Mayfield in there. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, but I don't like Baker. But
Why not? What you like,
why
man.
not Tennessee? Why not Tennessee?
Well, I thought of Tennessee myself because didn't the kid from Houston go to Tennessee? The edge rusher. What's his name? He was University of South Carolina.
Clowney?
Hurt his knee.
Jermaine.
Clowney, yeah, Jermaine Clowney. Now, isn't he with Tennessee?
Clowney started off with Tennessee.
Where's he at now? Because he's not with Houston. They let him go.
He's been with a bunch of people lately.
Yeah, he's been with everybody that have him in camp.
There's several people lately.
Okay, then I'm
The
mistaken.
Bears got a pretty good edge game, but a lot of that's because Khalil Mack's up front. He's in the middle and
Yeah,
drawing a lot of
draws
people,
everybody
but,
from him.
Yeah, they've got some pretty decent edge rushers. Hey, if it works out, Tim Tebow could become defensive end for the.
Did you say they brought out? No, they brought out they had a list of all.
In Atlanta? Or
I'm sorry, in Jacksonville, and his name wasn't on it. So it's a possibility he doesn't make the team. I don't see how you take that diversity off the table, but evidently everybody's scrapping for a job over there.
Yeah.
So let me going to do a quarterback.
Andy Dalton's QB1, I think, is what Matt Nagy has said that. I think that he's going to start the season. They're going to try to stay with that. If Justin Fields outplays him, I don't think you have much choice. If the season starts 1-5, you go with Fields and see what you
Field
got.
starts.
But
Yeah, you say Field starts.
well, I think he starts too.
No, I think if Chicago starts off poorly, they're gonna pull the hook on what's his name and go ahead and put Fields in and see what they got.
Yeah,
I mean you have to.
They're claiming that Dalton's going to be the day one starter, and that's probably smart to start with. Not that he's any good, but just when you think that he should quit playing football, he'll go win a Super Bowl.
and then you spend your first round pick, high for that matter, pick.
And I'm not bringing him to my place. I mean, he had a lot of weapons there.
Not as a starter.
No, not to bring the guy in and go hey down until Fields is ready. I think I said this on this show, and I don't know how long I'll last, but I think Fields ends up being the best quarterback in the draft.
Well, and I'm glad you said that because I totally disagree with you on that.
Yeah, and it's okay.
And it is okay. I'm taking this guy number one, and you're so sold on it, then why not put him out there? If he is your number one quarterback, you're going to take this guy over all the other quarterbacks you had a chance to take him. You're going to take this guy, and you're going to put him out there on the field. Then, okay, I see the logic, but put him out there and let him play. Let him take his bumps and bruises because you can't let him start this year and then start next year and say it's the beginning for him and not let him get his bumps and bruises out of the way. He's not going to do well to start out with. The game is too fast. It's not as slow as the NCAA games. So he's going to have to, any of them that's coming out of college, they have to get that speed.
And see his last college game, if the NFL is way faster, and it is, in college, man, he's in trouble because Ohio State was all
But that's what
over
I'm getting
him.
at. That's my whole point. They're going to let him come in and take his lumps. Why not let Justin Fields take his lumps? Then he will be up to the same speed as Trevor Lawrence because Trevor Lawrence is going to get his rear end handed to him. I'm saying they're going to win.
All right, guys, I got to go. I'll holler at y'all.
Okay.
All right, appreciate it, man.
I see the logic in that. I do. If he's a complete stud, yes. Like an Andrew Luck claimed to have been John Elway. You can go for a couple of others, Ben Roethlisberger, whoever. Maybe they don't feel quite that way, and why throw him out there week one, break a tibia, fibia, whatever, and now you're playing from behind your career. Now you're hurt. Hold a clipboard a while. If they see that at him, I'm okay with it if they see starter material. And I'm also okay with, let's let him ease into the game, maybe put him in some mop-up duty, whether we're getting beat or winning, and see what he's got. And I don't know. I wouldn't sign Andy Dalton for anything, but I get what you're saying.
I agree with you, but the argument has always been, well, is Trevor Lawrence ready to play? No, but they're going to throw him out there, and he's going to catch up to the game a whole lot quicker because he's going out there to begin with. If they was to do Justin Fields that same way, then him and Justin Fields are going to be on that same plateau. Right now, they're not going to be on it because Trevor Lawrence is going to get ahead of him, and he's still going to be back here waiting to catch up on the game. And that's always going to be that upper edge. Me as a coach, I guess that's why I don't coach.
Yeah.
Me as a coach, I would put him out there and say,
and see, I'm
you're more of a conservative.
Well, if I'm Jacksonville and I put all my eggs in a basket on a 1-15 team, I put Mustache Minshew out there to take some beatings, see that my team is getting better, and then put my future out there. I'm not throwing him out, not knowing if. How about that? Look at who just happened to.
Somebody just happened to walk in
drag
and
in
ain't
here
gonna make it
and
there.
Mama June's on
They
perimeter road.
fixing to eat while y'all do the show.
But anyway, yeah, I mean, if you had a really good team and you were able to snag up your quarterback at the 25th pick or something like that, then you can start him, whatever. What's Jacksonville gaining other than making their fans happy by running him out there week one? See what you got. Let Minshew take the beat downs for a while, and then when you're 1-6 and the guy has had a half an NFL year of practice and maybe some duty in between on a lost season, get him out there.
And I see where you're coming from, but I also see that there's no experience like game experience. Ask your son. Unless you're in that game, you don't know the reaction,
That's exactly right.
the turn time. You don't know how fast you literally have, because everybody's energy in a football game, basketball game, their energy is it's like when we do the show, our energy is a whole lot higher than it would be for us just sitting back there eating chicken. So delicious chicken from Mama June's. So my thing is, so the energy itself, the level is there. I think he'll allow them to go ahead and feel that and get that. What do you say?
I remember my first game I started my sophomore year. It was at Cook.
Right.
It's a rival game. So, like, the game was, like, a lot faster than because I played JV.
Right.
So the game was, like, at a slow pace. But, like, I took the first snap and it was just all happening quick.
It was like it was just singing right by you, and you're like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah, game experience matters. I don't want to take my $100 million investment and throw it out there knowing that most likely Jacksonville and probably Chicago's a little better in Jacksonville. I'm kids gloving my investment. Man.
Right. Yeah, I see. I mean, and I understand that. And I understand that. I mean, let's face it. Look what happened to Nick Foles. We put $700 million into Nick Foles in the first game. He broke his collarbone. I mean, the second quarter or whatever it was, he broke his collarbone.
Yeah.
So we're kind of sitting there on the edge saying, "Oh
And
no."
you're still paying dead money on that.
Yeah, exactly. We're still
And
paying it.
Started a guy with more mustache than football talent.
And he shaved it off. Did you notice that? He
No.
He
The
shaved
fact
it.
that that's news tells you he's not any good.
He shaved off his mullet, and he shaved off his mustache.
He's gonna be looking for a job.
Say nobody's gonna like him anymore. There's nothing else to say because doesn't Shotgun Boy has that big mustache and all that?
Yeah.
All right, what I'm gonna do is run down,
Okay.
and these are the first games.
You're gonna run?
No, I'm not gonna run. These are the first games of the NFL season. I'm gonna give both of y'all a chance.
You gotta give me Philly. They just got Atlanta's number. I mean, when they play, no matter who's quarterback, who's coaching, they just, for whatever reason, they seem to have Atlanta's number. They're both pretty solid.
I have Philly on.
Why do you take Philly though? Just because your dad took Atlanta? Oh, no, he
not
took Philly.
because he's a Philly fan. I don't like.
Oh, okay.
I always root against the team that's playing against them, but Atlanta is just.
So I mean, and I look, I'm going to go against both of you. I'm going to take Atlanta, and Jimmy's going to be surprised at this, and he's going to be surprised that I'm saying this, because you go with the quarterback that you have, and you have a new tight end, plus you got Julio, who's been a distraction in your locker room for the last 3 years. You get him out of there. So what's going to happen? Your locker room's going to take, and Matt Ryan is going to take control of that team. And you got this new tight end coming in who's thirsty, and he wants to win. Did I use that in the right way? Thirsty, I guess.
I think so.
I'm not sure. I'm old. I can't think of it. Thirsty means something else. Is that what does it mean?
I don't know.
That like putting him on the spot. Anyway,
It could be.
Can I get my coffee, please, sir? You forgot my coffee.
Here at Mama June's on Perimeter Road.
Yeah. So it's one of them things. So I don't know what thirsty means evidently because he's just laughing at me.
You want coffee? That's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it means. I want coffee. That's what it is. So, all right. So let's do in Pittsburgh, Buffalo. Roethlisberger's coming back. Buffalo's on his trail.
Buffalo. I think Roethlisberger's on the back nine.
Okay.
Obviously. I don't know. Buffalo went to the AFC Championship game. I think they're not a fluke. I don't care for their coach. Sean McDermott's kind of their talent. They outplay their coaching. Let me say that, in my opinion. So I'm gonna go with.
You're gonna take Buffalo.
Yeah, Josh Allen, is that his name in Buffalo?
Yep.
I'm gonna take Buffalo. Roethlisberger is out of his league, and
What?
I believe that Josh Allen is MVP material.
Okay, and you don't think that Roethlisberger? You think Roethlisberger's out of? You mean he shouldn't be playing in the NFL?
Well, I think he's out of his prime.
Oh, okay, I see that. Yeah, because he's on what we call the downhill. I completely understand that. Yeah.
Same age as me.
Yeah, you're on the downhill. Well, look at this. We got some hot coffee from Mama June's. And who are you?
My name's Tyler, and it's nice to meet y'all. I hope y'all are having a good day.
He thinks we're having a good day. We're just talking, dude. That's all we're doing. Hey, can you see his face on the screen? I didn't think so. You got to lean down here. Give him a hug. Give the wrestler a hug there, right there. See there? Yay! All right. That's your 15 minutes, man. You're done.
That's it, yeah. 3 half and half, so that's like a hole and a half, right?
That's right. It's a hole and a half.
Okay.
All right. So Minnesota, Cincinnati. That'll be a quick one.
Minnesota.
So,
Yeah, there's just no doubt. Cincinnati had to come back in.
Yeah.
San Francisco, Detroit.
Give me Detroit. Just
Go ahead, say it.
just
you don't
just
want
because I don't know. Jared Goff's got a little bit to prove. I mean, he's not a scrub. He got traded out of a place for a guy that's, to me, it was a lateral move.
on both sides.
Stafford at his age to Goff, like Stafford at the same age, no, but 30 whatever year old Stafford to Goff. I mean, Goff has been to a Super Bowl. Stafford has been to like
The toilet bowl.
Yeah, so I look for Goff to do okay there. Detroit is never any good, so like they are who they are. But I think games like that, they'll be in contention. And San Francisco's don't know who they want to be the starters. You got Garoppolo trying to fight for a job, and
Hey,
Trey
it's somebody's
Lance.
birthday back there if y'all can hear that.
It's Jimmy's birthday. Right?
Jimmy, oh, he's back there with a cake? Okay.
Trey Lance, they don't know who their starter is. Usually when you don't know who your week one guy is already, you're kind of behind the 8 ball. So I don't know. Wouldn't surprise me if San Francisco beat them, but I'm gonna say Detroit.
What say you?
I'm gonna say Detroit.
He's following in Daddy's footsteps. That's all that is. He just look
I
at the
just make
grin.
sense.
Look at the grin on Daddy's face. Yep, he's
I just
my
make
boy.
sense.
It's smart football.
It's
So,
not smart football. When you got a team like Detroit and all you did was swap quarterbacks, you say that Goff has something to prove. Stafford has something to prove too.
Yeah, but we weren't talking about the Rams. We're talking
But
about
no. But what I'm getting at is you've got Detroit is out. Detroit's never going to be. It's like you're going to say about Jacksonville. Detroit's never going to be there, dude.
That's right.
It's just not going to happen.
What I was saying
so
was,
I'm going with San Francisco,
That's cool.
and that's going to be a good one.
the trade is what I'm getting at.
Okay.
Everybody talked about how great of a trade it was for Stafford to go to LA. Like Goff was couldn't play in the NFL.
Right.
That's awesome.
Well, and I agree that I think that was actually pretty much an even trade because Stafford for Goff, you're getting what you get. That doesn't make any sense to make that
They're the
kind of
same
trade.
player to me. They're about 11th to 15th best quarterback in the NFL trade.
But
They're
Yeah, exactly. But San Francisco, with the wide receivers that they have in their offensive line, they actually made the playoffs last year, and they were actually a pretty decent team. I think adding some of the players that they have, I think they're going to be the better team. I'm going to take San Francisco. Arizona and Tennessee.
Give me Mike Vrabel's team, man. Give me Tennessee. I picked them when they got Julio. I think that puts them maybe just a shade under Buffalo and Kansas City. There are 2 or 3. Wouldn't surprise me a bit if they're back in the AFC title game. Good defense. Eric Henry's best running back in the NFL. Tannehill is a game manager. You give him Julio, maybe he puts some good numbers up. So Tennessee beats teams like Arizona, who I've said it 100 times. Kyler Murray doesn't impress me. He can't even ride the merry-go-round at the circus. You know what I'm saying? Arizona's just, they're not there to me. They're not on Tennessee's level.
Right.
So
What say you?
I'm going with Arizona.
All right, go ahead. Me and him finally going to agree on something here. Go ahead.
I think Kyler Murray's all that, and doesn't DeAndre Hopkins play for Arizona still?
Yeah, and who's their defensive end? Who's going
J.J. Watt.
to tear up? You're absolutely right. Who's going to tear up Tannehill that day?
So they went and got a couple of Houston guys when Houston went 4-12 that brought them to Arizona. Now they're going to be better.
That's right. If you take 2 or 3 people from a team
That was
4-12 and you put them on a team that was
7-9.
7-9, you're going to add 4 more games to that, right? So look, now what are you looking at? Okay.
6-10?
Exactly. So at
6
least
and
they're
10.
going to be 6-10. No,
6-11 because they added a game, right?
Yeah.
I keep forgetting about that weird
That
extra
weird
game.
schedule, yeah.
Yeah, when Jimmy told me the Falcons were going 10-7, I was like, oh yeah, they added a game. I forgot. I just the extra game of the season threw me off. I'm used to 16.
All right, we're going to speed this up a little bit.
All right.
Just give me who you pick. All right, we're at Los Angeles, and I guess you can't call them Redskins, but Washington.
Is that Los Angeles Chargers
Yes.
or Rams? Or we're not. We're not sure.
We're not really sure because it's not what it has
Well-
on here. It's just Los Angeles. Let's look at the Raiders. No, they're not the Raiders anymore.
No.
Raiders. Oh, no, Los Angeles is the Rams. The Raiders aren't there anymore.
Yeah, but the Chargers are LA.
That's right. They're supposed to move.
gotta
But
fill out the
they're
whole
still
thing.
in the same thing.
Um,
So forget that one. Let's move on. North
If
Carolina.
Washington brings Mark Rippon out, I'll take him.
Okay. New York and versus Carolina.
Which New York?
Jets.
Boy, that's that's a game nobody's gonna watch.
Who do the Jets have? They just pulled an inside linebacker though from this. He used to play ball in this area.
Isn't Teddy Bridgewater Carolina's
Yes.
quarterback? Just because they're playing the Jets, give me Carolina. But now I don't look for Carolina to win many more games other than that one.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm taking Carolina.
All right, I'm taking New York. I'm going to take the Jets. Here's why I'm going to take the Jets. I know what their defense is looking like. I know some of the people on their defense, and I think they're out to prove something because a couple of them left Detroit, again, a team that went 0 and whatever, and it's a team that I told you will never amount to nothing. So I personally think that the Jets are going to come back and take Carolina.
Mark Gastineau.
Jacksonville and Houston.
Houston.
You're making me throw up in my mouth. Come
All
on.
right, I'm going Jacksonville.
Hey, I got to give him a high five. There you go.
I can't even tell you why. Nobody wants to hear why?
Go ahead.
Deshaun Watson's
Real
still
quick.
still a Texan.
He's not going to be a Texan. Let's move on. He is not going to be a Texan at the end of all of this. Just like Aaron Rodgers is not going to be a Packer at the end of this. And you know I'm taking Jacksonville. So,
I see
all right,
that.
Cleveland, Kansas City. Toss it up. Come on, toss it up. Toss it up. Let's go.
Give me Cleveland.
Cleveland.
I'm taking Kansas City.
I'm going to have to go with Cleveland over here. I just think they're on a better route.
Well,
I know Jimmy don't see. Jimmy's over here shaking his head. No, he's
Well,
eating. He can't even talk, but he's still shaking his head.
I really think that people are going to figure out the Mahomes deal. I don't think Baker Mayfield's any good either. I think Cleveland's as good as, and I think it's probably the upset of the week. Once you expose somebody, they've done it with Lamar Jackson,
Yep.
done it with a lot of guys. You see what you need to do to make Mahomes, all that underhand throws and all that.
And I say
it's over
this,
with.
I say this every year for those quarterbacks that are coming out there, like Cam Newton, Jackson, all those people that come out there. They've got to play a couple games. Once they get a season under their belt, they have tape. They have video, so they know how they step to the left or turn their head to the right or move their arm to the left. So that first year, if they don't do it in that first year, they're not going to do it. And I feel the same way about Mahomes. They went to
The Bucks exposed
Yeah,
him.
big time.
It wasn't
Big time.
even that they beat him. They exposed
And
his
you can
weaknesses.
say, you can say how the offensive line and all this stuff. Look, they won the AFC, so you can't say it was bad on them. The AFC just sucked. Is what it boiled down to. Okay, Miami, New England. Who's the quarterback in New England? That's going to be the question.
Tony Eason.
Steve Grogan.
Steve Grogan.
Steve Grogan, yeah.
I don't know. Miami has built a pretty good team because they've had the number one pick of the draft since Don Shula quit.
Yeah.
So I'm not a Tua fan at all. I don't think he's any good. But I think the team as a whole is better than New England's. I think Bill Belichick will have them playing well. They won't get blown out of most games, but they lose out.
I'd say Miami.
Okay, and I agree with you. I'm going to take Miami because I think Miami, like you said, I think they're on a new start upwards.
I like their coach.
I don't think they found the quarterback that they need yet, though. I don't think Tua is their quarterback. I've never thought he was the quarterback that should be in Miami. But they've gone all in on Tua, so if you're going to go all in on him, let's see what you can do.
Why not stick with Fitzpatrick? I mean, he
Exactly.
slings it around.
Because he's
man.
in Washington right now.
I know,
It'd be
but I
hard to
mean,
stick
like,
with
but
him.
nobody sticks with him. I
Yeah.
don't get it. Like, he'll throw for 4,000 yards and get cut.
Because he's that backup. He's that backup that comes in and looks good. But he got benched one time last year, remember?
He looks like a Viking almost. Kind of
Yeah, he does. All right, so we're looking at Green Bay and New Orleans. Neither one of them are going to have their quarterback from last year.
Aaron Rodgers
It's not going to be there.
is going to beat whoever New Orleans has.
Okay, all right.
Taysom Hill.
No, you know who?
Taysom Hill's who you think New Orleans is going to have?
I feel like they're gonna stick
Crab
with
leg.
Taysom Hill.
They're doing crab boy. What are you
They
talking
gonna
about?
do
They're
the
doing
Jameis.
crab. They're doing crab walks all the way through New Orleans.
And Jameis can't beat whoever to bring Green. If it's Jameis versus Love, you probably need some love. you know,
Yeah,
like,
well, and I agree with you. I agree with you there.
Jameis isn't. I hope everybody sees what Jameis is.
I hope.
After the team he got bounced from went and won a Super Bowl.
And then you're exactly right. They dumped him after they won a Super Bowl.
Then
That tells you something.
yeah. Then they went and won a Super Bowl.
Or they went and won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I have it back.
That's right.
All right, last one.
Chicago against another Los Angeles. that we're
Yeah,
not
just
sure
pick a
of.
Los Angeles team.
If I'm gonna go with Justin Fields, even though they say Andy Dalton's gonna be a Week 1 starter, I'm kind of like Jimmy. I don't see that. Dalton didn't play at all any good last year. I don't think there was one game in Dallas where he looked like Andy Dalton, which is sad to even be comparing yourself to yourself, but I didn't think Andy Dalton played very well last year. I don't see him being the week 1 starter if Fields is even close to the same level. So,
What do you say?
Wait, who's the team again?
Oh, he's not even paying attention.
Chicago and LA.
Chicago and LA.
We're not sure which LA, so just pick one.
I'll tell you what, you think about that, and I'm going to tell you. That way you'll know who to pick. I'm going to take it right now. Chicago is not going to win that ball game. Here's why.
All right.
They're going to think that Justin Fields is their quarterback, and they bring him into play, and he is going to get his lumps. He is not going to come into the NFL and be that superstar that everybody thinks he's going to be. So I think the defensive line from Los Angeles is going to bury him. I just don't see it happening. I think Los Angeles all the way.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Did Justin Fields
Piss about Wheaties?
Yeah. Did he tell the Gators that he didn't want to play there?
He left actually.
He left Georgia, I know, to go to Ohio State.
One of the reasons I don't like what he did in college is because he up and left because he wasn't predicted to be the starter. So he left and went to another team instead of taking his lumps like I'm talking about in the NFL. So my question, if he doesn't start in the NFL, is he going to turn around and say, I want to go to Green Bay?
Well, the thing is, if he doesn't start for Georgia like he obviously didn't, he never goes to the pros because he sits behind.
How do you know that? Because he could have fought for that job.
Yeah.
He would still be in because he came out early. So he would still be at Georgia right now. Okay, granted, he wouldn't be making the sign-on money that he's going to get, but he would have been their starter this year coming in. Same thing with Eason that went out to Oregon. I just don't. And now they're going to pay him off for doing this, for transferring, because you're going to see more transfers now because everybody wants to play and be that star because they're going to make money off of them.
I'm with it. That's why I think that these big schools like Georgia, Alabama, and all that get these guys to commit, go somewhere else if you don't want to compete for this job.
Well, the problem, and we can talk about that, but the problem I see with that is the coach, Nick Saban, or whoever you are, I'm just not going to point the finger at him, but you promised you, and you, okay, you're three going to be my starting quarterback. I promise you're going to be my starting quarterback. I'm going to sign you on a letter, you're going to be my starting quarterback. I agree to be your starting quarterback. And then we get to camp, I'm not your starting quarterback, and you basically just lied to me and hooked me to come to your school.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it. I think
that's what they do to get you to come.
It's mismanagement. I think it's poor management, number one. And I also think that what they're doing is they're telling a kid that they're going to give them something and they're not giving it to them. That's just my opinion. That's what I think about it.
Here at Mama June's on Perimeter Road.
Oh, I thought you had something else.
No, as you were getting to your next thing, I was just saying where we were.
Oh, where are we?
We're at Mama June's on Perimeter Road.
Where?
Mama June's on Perimeter
Road.
As you sip the coffee.
As I sip my piece of coffee.
900 degrees outside.
All right, there is some questions. Let me just ask you. What time is it? Oh, we're running over, so let me get real quick. Will the move to the smaller market help the Panthers, Sam Donaldson, turn his career around?
No, because he can't play. The market has nothing to do with it. The Jets, there was zero pressure going to the Jets. Giants, yes. Jets, no.
So you think because of where he's at, it's not that it's a smaller market, he just doesn't have the ability.
What's the difference?
That's what I'm going to say.
He got drafted because he played at USC.
Yeah, but the team he was playing with, because he's going there, doesn't mean it's going to make his chances better.
There are 32 NFL teams or whatever it is. Every market is a market. Trust me, they'll run him out of Charlotte if he can't play, just like they will New York.
For sure.
Jacksonville's the only place that'll bring a guy in, and it don't matter how you play, you get to hang out at the Landing.
No, you don't, because if you're at the Landing, you're in trouble because they imploded that thing.
They'll name a road on the west side after you in Jacksonville if you make the team.
Well, and
Baselli Drive.
Well, Baselli's he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. I'm telling you, he's not yet, but he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. And when he does, then we'll come back and rub that street name in your face. Anyway, guys, we're out of here. We're at Mama Judy's tonight. We'll see you next time on Armchair Sports.